seeing it on your screen. Thank you. All right. Okay, yeah, good evening to every one of us on the call. My name is Bukumi Abiodun, the convener for the Good2Go and Talent Stream program. We are all welcome to another session. All right, so I believe that more of us are going to join and more of us will watch this session. So we'd like you to drop your comments and your feedback after this session. So there's going to be a form to be shared on this session. Of course, it serves as attendance, at the same time also serve as feedback for us to improve on this program we are doing. So please, let's look forward to that form. The form also include a WhatsApp group. For most of who joined yesterday, the form that was shared, the WhatsApp group was included in the form. So the form has been, the WhatsApp group has been sent to your email for everyone who filled the form. Right, please go check your email, especially early morning, 8 a.m. today, and join the WhatsApp group. For this today, it's going to be a different mindset. Like I mentioned, the mindset of yesterday is not the same thing as today. Today, we're going to be talking about your employability, right? We are going into the marketplace, to, be a problem solver, and that's who you are. So I want to welcome you to Good2Go and Talent Stream program. You're all welcome. I will yield the baton to my colleague, the person of Tulu Obadimu. She will be introducing our guest. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, my dearest gentlemen, core members. That moment after POP, when the khaki comes off and the big question begins, what next? Job hunting can feel confusing, competitive, and sometimes overwhelming. Today's session is specifically designed to address that reality so as to answer the big question before the end of your service year. Our speaker today is a purpose-driven youth leader who has worked extensively to expand access to career opportunities, build relevant skills, and empower young people to navigate their career journeys with clarity and confidence. Today, she'll be sharing practical insights on jobs and employability, what employers are really looking for, how core members can position themselves better, how to navigate opportunities after NYSC, and how to stand out even without years of experience. Core members, please join me in warmly welcoming our speaker for today, Happiness Emodi. Please react with your stickers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I think it was Tolu that spoke. Apologies if I'm wrong. My name, because I got kicked out a bit. Nice to be here. I'm tempted to shout Copper, wish Copper, but I mean, I would like rather say good evening, future CEOs, future professionals, career professionals, future employed professionals, future tech founders, and everything, because I believe that the future of our country, of our nation, lies in this room, and lies in our fellow, like your fellow core members, right? A bit of I just need to say something. Mr. Bukumi, can you please help me present the slides? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. My name is Happiness Emodi, and I am just like you, very young. And basically, I'm going to be talking about what is very, very it seems like a very common topic or a cliche topic, but it's not something that a lot of people know how to do strategically, right? From CV to hired, and judging from the presenter's speech, I could tell that majority of us here are like past core members are going to be passing out. So it means that we are the particular sect of the society that is coming out of from school from service and straight into the job market. And that shows that we need to be strategically prepared, because interestingly, the job market, I like to call the job market survivor of the fittest, but that does not mean that each one of us, I believe that each one of us can still strategically position ourselves in a way that we would eventually like be hired, right? And I'm going to, over the course of this session, share like practical steps for early career professionals that can help you move from regular application to offer to getting an actual good paying offer that can help you kickstart your career. So we'll be dealing on how best to optimize our CVs and resumes, how best to deal with outreaches, like reaching out to people smartly. I don't know if you've heard of cold email. We'll be dealing with that, as well as how best to get ourselves interview ready, which is like the should I call it like the final lap of getting yourself hired, right? And but before I go on, I am going to start with the general notion of that people have about, I mean, in our country they say that they are bringing a lot of graduates but there are no jobs for them. First of all, we are going to be debunking that myth that there are no jobs. Say, I want you to tell yourself and hit yourself in your chest that there are jobs out there and jobs that you can get. I mean, there's a job out there for you if and if only you know how best to position or strategically position yourself. But before I proceed, I would like to ask a very quick question. I know that we're core members, but I mean, has thank you so much, yourself. I would like to know if um any of us have sent CVs at all at any phase of our life, like you've worked on a CV and you've sent it out before. Anybody? Even if you didn't get the role or you got it, multiple applications. Has there been, have you ever faced like you sent out an application and none of them got back to you? You heard nothing. Some are even unkind enough, like they will not they will not give you feedback whether you passed or you did not pass. Thank you. That is to show that this is a very, they barely respond. Severally no feedback. Let me tell you a story before I go on. So when I the job that made me move to Lagos to start like a proper career in project management was a role that I had applied. So I had given myself a goal that from December 24th up until January 10th, I wanted to apply for roles. So I had applied for 25 roles within that time frame. People were doing Christmas, New Year. I was locking in to apply for jobs as much as I could get. And guess what? Out of 35, 21 did not get back to me. Like 21, I don't even know whether they threw my CV somewhere or wherever. 3 got back to me, but with plain, unfortunately, it was a plain rejection. And it was then I thought to myself that what was I doing wrong? I mean, I feel like I had enough credentials to be able to get me the kind of role that I had. But guess what? This particular sorry, but guess what? These particular people, I now read a particular LinkedIn post of a fellow acquaintance, and he shared tips on how to get like navigate job searching. And I just applied that tip. And guess what? That was what got the next role I applied for like this. I got a very quick yes. They not even yes, they reached out to me, they called me. When will I be available for an interview? We had the first interview, we had the second interview. There's some interviews that you will have. There's some interviews that you will have. You will just know that you've gotten the role, right? So we had the second interview where I had to have conversations with the founder and all of that. And at the time, we talked about negotiation, talked about salary and everything, and I got the job that made me leave my parents' house and relocated to Lagos. That is to show that all what it's not like, I mean, it's the same credentials that I used in the past, it's the same degree, it's the same certificate, but I was doing it wrongly for the past 21, which is probably why they did not respond to me. They felt like it was not worth them reaching out to me back. So I want you to know that you are somebody, me and you, might have the same credentials, but we live in a world where your ability to articulate your value, right, is as expedient and as important as the value that you carry. So I would like to say that, first of all, tie the same excellence that you put into your work, into getting that degree, into getting your credentials, tie it to the same, put in the same energy with articulating your value in the way that recruiters want to hear it. So first things first, we must be able to speak the language. I'm trying to give a summary. We must be able to speak the language of recruiters. We must be able to speak the language of the HRs. We must be able to speak the language of the job requires of you, right? So that is that about that. So I would like to call it positioning, the difference between people that get roles easily. And I always tell myself that I got into a stage where if I want to change, if I want to get a new role, it's not going to take me anything. It's just decision to want to move forward, and that's it. And I want you to know that tonight is not about CV templates, because we're going to be going into that, but see beyond it as CV template. It's about whether it's about you having to learn how your application is going to open doors for you and not just be thrown into the dustbin, right? Or even doors that will close quietly before you even get a chance to pitch yourself. Because I believe that every innate person here has certain level of value that they have to offer. But the problem is how to move from the principle and from the point of getting a CV or applying through a CV to getting hired. And by the end of this session, I would be immensely pleased if you would we all will live with the knowledge of what employers are actually scanning for and how best to position yourself strategically. Now, next slide, please. Thank you. In this particular, I'm sure that I want to know how many of us have CVs here. If you don't have a CV, don't be shy. I can use your CV as an example. We all have CVs, Abby. That's CVs. We all have CVs. So one person that okay. You have a CV. Okay. Also, you don't have a CV. Oh yeah. Start downloading. Download ATS resume builder. Download it on Google. If you are using iOS, on your app store. If you are using Android, download it on Play Store. Download it now. So that's why I'm talking. You are using your phone to also work on it. Now, first things first, right? I want us to clarify the difference between random application. Remember, one thing I want is us to achieve is that I want us to clarify the difference between random applications and strategic positioning. Now, many young people, even core members, believe that if they apply for, I know there's the principle of if you apply for 50 jobs, at least one go click, one will answer, Abby. But I want you to know that it's if you apply for 50 jobs with a very bare minimum method that does not properly strategically position you, it's just going to be wasted energy, right? Another set of people believe that if your CV looks fine, they'll put different colors, put their face, because you have a fine face, you put your face on your CV. Yes, it is ATS resume reader. Thank you. Because you have a fine face, you put your face on your CV that if the recruiter see me, they might possibly likely take me, right? Or they believe that I'm a, first of all, before I say this one, I'm a strong believer and I believe in the power of God and the Holy Spirit. But the first is first, I also believe in the ability that God blesses the works of your hands, right? So there's some people that believe that if I pray hard enough, something will click. It is right, it happens, right? But I want you to know that hiring or the job market is not an emotional one, it is a structured one. So, for example, I was looking at a couple of CVs and I realized that certain people lack certain information. Because tell me why on earth you are putting I am single and I am a Christian in your CV. What are we using that? What is the recruiter using that piece of information to do? Right? So I want you to know that a CV is not an emotional document, but it's something that should be structured. These are basic things that I want you to take note that recruiters look out for. They look out for keywords. You are applying for a project management role. There are certain keywords that are peculiar to project management that they want to see in your CV. You're applying for a virtual assistant role. There are certain keywords that they want to see in your CV, keywords that are peculiar to that industry or niche that you find yourself. Now you may ask yourself, how can I find keywords? It's very easy. Before you apply for roles, we all used to see job description. Abi, is anybody with me? You see a job description, right? Yes. In that job description, there are certain things that they would ask that should exist. I mean, in like these are certain qualities that you will see that, for example, should be proficient in, maybe he's a designer, or should be proficient in, or a virtual assistant should be proficient in creation of Microsoft PowerPoint, for creation of slide, general Microsoft Office suite, and all of that things. These are keywords that should exist in your CV based on the job description that was put out there. Another thing that recruiters also look out for is evidence. See, gone are the days. If you feel like what's the word? Gone are the days where people are looking out for responsibilities in CV. E.g., I sent out emails and all of that, or I was part of the customer service team. No, 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 no. You should be able to translate whatever responsibility or duty that you've carried out in a particular role or task in the past, translate it in a way that it depicts proper evidence. Your CV is not a place, I would always say that your CV is certainly not a place to be humble. I feel like your CV is not a place to be modest. It is a place where you just consider it as a document where you scream, but obviously professionally, right, about the things that you've done and the value that you bring. Because hiring managers are not, many people create CVs and just make it a dog of the job description. They're not looking out for job description, they're looking for results, people that can depict results even in their CV. So for example, you're a social media manager, instead of saying something like manage social media accounts for a tech startup, what about you try something more result oriented, right? That shows actual impacts, that shows actual numbers, that shows tangible wins, that they tangible records that they can hold together. Say for example, if I was going to translate this particular responsibility into a CV that positions it strategically, I would say something like I grew a startup social media following by 100% in 6 months, leading to maybe overall 40% increase in sales through organic engagement. Now, even you as a person now, imagine you're a recruiter. Which one of them will you choose? The one I just said or the one I said earlier? Who sounds like he or she knows what he's doing? Who? The guy with the, oh, I manage a social media account for a tech startup, or the one that went into details, giving numbers and figures and results? Please talk to me. Oh. Anybody? Should I call him? Okay. Ismail is raising his hand. Over to you, Ismail. Ismail. I don't know if you can know the raising of hand is a mistake. But exactly the one that is detailed. That's what Messi is saying. The other person is saying the second one, the one that went into details. Thank you so much. That is to show now that sometimes this is the reason why they used to throw our application into the dustbin. Because they've seen a more result-oriented person and they feel like we that went straight to the point and know what their time. I don't know if you understand my point, right? Also, be very clear in your CV. Now, this will bring me to the fact of design versus deliverability. It is okay. I find it, I totally feel like as much as aesthetics is good, when it comes to standard ATS resume CVs, right, it is very important that you tone down the aesthetics. I know you're aesthetic girly, you're an aesthetics, you like aesthetics as a man. Tone it down when it comes to CV, because there's something called companies. There are certain companies that screen your CVs through what they call an ATS resume checker, right? And if your CV, if you overly design your CV, pack pink, pack purple, which I don't even see why you are doing that. I know you are a pink girly, you are a purple girly, but leave it outside of your CV. Now, when those kind of CVs go to the ACS resume checker, it will not go forward, it will break, right? So when I see your CV, prioritize clear headings, let people clearly see heading, clearly see your headings, right? Use explain your point in simple bullets and use standard fonts so that your content can be easy, can be easy to read. So now let me give you, how many of us served in schools, like you served in a school? Yeah, I want to see you. Or you're currently serving in a school, sorry. Hey, Bessie, you are going to work with me. Okay, Jane as well. I think, is she Jane? Yes, James rather. Say I don't know if it's a government school, but have you ever marked scripts for about 100 students before? How hectic is it? Or is it usually sweet? Okay, but is marking of scripts for plenty students is crazy. Now imagine that HR who probably works in 9 to 5 and goes to work, comes back and he's supposed to look at your CV, and then he's seeing color that is catching his brain. You're like, you don't even have your fonts clearly put. It would discourage the person from reading. That is the same way you should handle. I mean, it can still be translated. Sorry, it can still be translated into your CV. Also, chronological order is key. Use chronological format. So, for example, what do I mean by chronological format? You have, say, for example, you have an experience in 2025. You had another experience 2024. You had another experience 2023. It is not. Say your scripts are here. Now imagine that HR that has 1,000 applications for one role and is looking at all of you CV like that. That is the same way it is, right? But now, chronological order, when you have experiences from 2025, 2024, 2020, 2020, what was that year again? 2023. It is very important that you arrange them chronologically. Use chronological format for hires. It shows growth, it shows consistency, it shows functional, like it shows proper career explanation. Meaning I can tell your career trajectory from you. I mean, your most recent roles or work experiences should be at the top, then go that way down so people can tell it chronologically. I don't know if you understand me. Am I communicating? Thank you. Also, first things first, it is highly recommended that for early career professionals that we are, right, because we're coming out of the NYSC or seeking proper like standard job or employment, it is very important that you keep your CV within one page. The more you advance in career, for example, you go to mid-level, high level, you can make your CV 2 pages. That is because you've already reached the level where you have proper evidence of work done, and you can showcase 2 pages. But as an early career professional, stick to one page. And this one page, these are basic details that should must be in that one page. Your contact, your name, by contact, your email address, and your location. Please, when it comes to location, I seriously see no reason why you are putting your streets. This country is not even safe. So why putting your streets? First things first, you live in Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria. Bam. Nothing more, nothing less. If possible, your phone number. Yes, your phone number must be in your CV, because usually some very proper work culture, they call you to confirm if you'll be available for an interview. Country. Okay, don't put your address, don't put your local government, don't put all of those very irrelevant things that people put directly under your name, right? Your first name and last name is very fine. Also have like a headline. I like to call it like a summary of everything in your CV. A brief, yeah, LinkedIn as well, right? It depends, right? LinkedIn also matters. So for me, if I am sending a cover letter alongside the job description, I put my LinkedIn on my cover. emails. That's it. Maybe if they just like I can, okay.
Yes, you
I
can
said
hear you.
LinkedIn. Okay, I got kicked out for a bit. I'm so sorry. So, for example, have your LinkedIn. You can add it to your cover letter if it comes. Can you still hear me? Okay, you can add it to your cover letter if so it doesn't make that your header page look so scattered. I usually add it to my cover letter and add it to my email body that I'm sending my CV and cover letter with. So I'll be like, here this beyond my CV and all of that, you can also check out my professional expertise from my LinkedIn. Then I put the link. So you can easily check my LinkedIn from the email. That is so it does so that it doesn't scatter my headline. But it's also okay to put your LinkedIn on a CV. Then you go and explain your achievements, work achievements, and all of that. Then go to your education. I think that maybe for early career professionals, you can still say your secondary school, but I don't really advise, to be honest. Your secondary school, primary school, all of those things. But if you notice that your CV is not like there's no much stuff that you've done, you can also add that. Then at about 4 to 6 relevant skills. And when I mean relevant, emphasis on relevant skills that are relevant not to you because you feel like they feel good, but skills that are relevant to the job description. Next slide, please. All right. Cracking the ATS keyword matching. So ATS is simply like applicant is full is the full meaning is applicant. Somebody's not seeing this slide. I can. Is anybody seeing this slide? Okay. Maybe it's your network. We can try changing location. I can't. Ah. I think I can see it. So maybe you can try changing your location. Thank you. So what I was saying is an ATS CV is simply an applicant, it's called an applicant tracking system, right? And ATS applicant tracking system is a standard, like is a standard method of CV. My voice is echoing. I'm in my room. I don't know why it's echoing, guys. Sincere apologies. Okay. I will try to tone down my voice. An ATS resume is one that is standardly accepted by the talent management pool today, right? So if your CV is not in ATS, I don't know what you have, what document you have that you're calling a CV. And in this particular ATS looks out for exact phrases. For example, find ad skills that are in the job ad. You remember what I said about job description, such as, for example, if they mention tools like Canva, Microsoft Office Suite, put all of these things in. These are words that the ATS, your CV, the ATS will be looking out for in your CV. For example, if they say that the applicant must have so certification or must have graduated from law, put it, you have a law degree, ensure you highlight it properly in your CV. Also, ATS looks out for processes as well. It looks out for what? Processes, and ensure that you mirror all of these details properly mirrored in your resume. Don't overstuff your resume. I don't know if I will have the opportunity, I might share my own resume. Please and please don't overword your resume. It should be go straight to the point. I want to see figures. They want to see figures. They want to see the actual relatability of what you said you have done or can do to the job description that they have, right? To the job description that exists. But because of time, we might not be able to do this quick activity. No, but I want you to go home, think about the particular career path you want to tread into. Is it project management? Is it product management? Is it it would even be health? Is it teaching and anything? Please do well to go to that particular career path. Now, search for keywords, right? And search for keywords and map those keywords out to be able to search for keywords in that particular industry and map those keywords out to be able to translate it or impute it in your CV. I hope that I'm communicating. Please, if your CV does not make it easy for them to see your value, then you are invisible. that you are properly what invisible. No matter if you send your application, they'll feel like they did not see it. That's why they are ghosting you and they are not responding to you, right? And they're but not responding to you. So please, even if it's you taught in a school, right, use this your NYSC achievement, right? And I know many of you might be asking, how can I translate my NYSC responsibilities into achievements? Now let me show you the difference. So for example, you taught in Ogbodogba Primary School or secondary school. I don't know if there's a school that exists like that, but yeah. And you taught students mathematics. Instead of writing taught students mathematics, why don't you say improved SS2 students pass rates, or even SS3 students pass rates from 42% that it used to be to 71%, using what do teachers do again? Using weekly bi-weekly assessment strategy, meaning you're always giving them assessments that helps them practice more mathematics, and they're able to move their passing rate from 42% to 71%. Now you can see the difference. The first one is giving duty or responsibility. I'll come to that. The first one is giving duty or responsibility. The second one is giving impact. Now, what I am saying here, right, is a general. What if the person doesn't know maths? Do you mean yourself or the student you are teaching? Do you mean you as a copper do not know maths or the student you are teaching? And Peter, talk to me. Talk to me. I want to get the perspective so I can answer this question very well. So, for example, if you are a good math teacher teaching maths in a secondary school, as much as there are certain students, me, I never knew maths. If it's me that existed in that class, that maths teacher would consider himself a failure, right? I was good at other subjects, but not maths. But one thing I knew, that I had several other classmates. I know you can't type. I was expecting you to type anyway. I had several other classmates that probably used to score 40 something in maths, right? I'm just asking Fatima. That probably used to score 40 something in math. And then they brought a particular copper to our school. And after that copper came to school, they started getting like 60 something over 100. As much as I think is not, the word is not lying. The word is, we do a lot of impact in our tiny day-to-day responsibilities, but we don't know it because we don't track it. I don't know if you understand my point. We don't know it because we don't track it. So if you have 10 students that came out with, I mean, from 40% in the past in maths to, I've seen coppers, but I don't know maths, but I get your message. Okay, so I mean, whatever message I'm trying to pass, I think I get what you're trying to say. Whatever message I am trying to pass is simply for coppers that know that you actually performed certain impact. You did not just do roles, but you left certain impacts on that particular role that you have. Then what you lack in that regard is ability to translate the value that you've given um in your CV clearly. I do not recommend lying in your CV, because if you get to interview stage, if you show, if you didn't day, you didn't day. If the value is not there, it's not there. Even if you scale through interview stage, if you get to the job, it will show, right? It will show that you are what I ordered for versus what I got. People were not here to preach lying in your CV. What I'm coming from the perspective is understanding that you have value, ensure that you have your lives will do exactly your lives will do. Why will AI lie for you? You still lie, right? You know that you did not teach those students well. In fact, they failed in your tenure as a copper, right? You will now go and say brought 70% increase. My brother, no, 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 no. Let's not talk about LinkedIn layers. We'll not go away from here. So a lot of people lie, but we'll still get to the part of interview stage where you can be able to make yourself outstanding as somebody that has value over people that even lie or sugarcoat what they do. So let's move around quickly. Please, next slide. Next slide. I don't know if, yeah, okay, thank you. The next slide is the LinkedIn transformation, which why I said we should all calm down, that we're getting to that point, right? And um, how do I explain this now? Say, for example, how many of us are on LinkedIn here, first of all? Okay, a couple of people. We're on LinkedIn. If you know you are on the app, but you hate the app, let me see your hand. I saw one meme and they were like, my meeting is more than 12. Jesus, more than 12 years? Wow, that's interesting. You are an OG in this thing. Anyway, as much as LinkedIn has a lot of bad PR and good PR, I actually think that it's a very chill app. It's a if you properly know how to like use the app, right? If you properly know how to leverage the app very well. I'll just rush talk a bit about LinkedIn and go straight into um the explaining how to do strategic reach out, as well as cold emails, as well as how to prepare yourself for um interviews. I understand that some of us might not know LinkedIn keeps flagging your account. You have probably done something that made them flag your account. Try using a different email address and open LinkedIn, they would not flag it again. If you don't know how to use LinkedIn, it's fine. I think that the purpose of this the mind the gap is setting this is that maybe they might eventually have a LinkedIn optimization class for you all, as well as they're having this particular training for you. But very simple. First rule of LinkedIn, LinkedIn is very simple. Have a proper headline that can attract people to you. The headline should show what you do. The headline should show, e.g., maybe you are a data analyst, junior data analyst, you show it. You should also depict your measurable results. LinkedIn is a place where it's heavy on results. They want to see what you've done and what results did you achieve. Also, LinkedIn is not the place to use your Snapchat selfie pictures for. Ensure you have a professional profile photo. Ensure what you have a professional profile photo, and also like a very brief about. Your about should show a short value statement. Yes, it should depict your short value statement. It should depict your strength, and it should depict your proof of points, right? I like to, yes, you don't necessarily have to break a bank or wear suits per se, but dress corporately, right? Dress as though just don't wear agbada, right? Because every particular app, so that you find Instagram go there, post your aesthetically pleasing pictures that carries somebody needs to stop you. On LinkedIn, every app has their rules. So please, LinkedIn own is that you need to look serious. Please do well to look serious. Put your professional picture, put your about. Let it be like your value statement as well. So, for example, if you're open to work, please put open to work. That place is where you can be free to interact professionally, right? So open to work is that tag you see under people's names. Some people even have hiring, maybe HR professionals or executives, right? So professionals that are this particular person is open to you, right? So okay, I don't know where you lost me now, but I actually think that LinkedIn is a very good app for you to position yourself strategically. The most money that I have made that I made last year came from LinkedIn. right? It came from LinkedIn, from companies reaching out to me and all of that. So, and not particularly for jobs, though, maybe for consultation and all of that. So, please use the app properly, follow the rules of the app, and I believe that it would actually like work for you, right? Please, next slide. So please, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, leave this particular. And LinkedIn is also a very critical tool for job searching as well. Companies go on LinkedIn to post job adverts. So if you are wondering, no jobs in this country, I'm not seeing job ads, and you are not on LinkedIn, then where are you? It's not on TikTok. Dancing on TikTok that will bring you the job kind of job ad that you're looking for, particularly if you're looking for professional jobs. So LinkedIn is a very huge gold mine that I believe that if properly strategically put in place, it would help you reach out to bridge the gap between the recruiters, the actual recruiters that you're looking for, and the value that you bring to them. And another thing is, I also want you to remove the mindset that LinkedIn is a place where people lie, LinkedIn is a place where people exaggerate, but see LinkedIn as your CV, but this time around, your digital CV. So you take a certification, post it on LinkedIn. You did a project, post it on LinkedIn, because it is another method of, I like to call it two-factor authentication. You have your normal CV at and ATS CV, you have your LinkedIn. So when you are saying, I did kinikon on my this thing, for example, I did a particular project on my CV, people can refer to my LinkedIn and see the particular project, see actual evidence of work done, right? So consider consider LinkedIn as your what's the word now? Consider LinkedIn as your digital CV, because that's the way I see it. I just see it as me leaving a digital footprint, because definitely those recruiters, I don't know if you applied for jobs where they ask you for your LinkedIn. That's because they want to authenticate the actual details that you've put in your CV. AI now can write CV. Anybody can write CV. People pay people to write CV and make it exaggerated. But your LinkedIn shows proof of actual work done, and it enables recruiters to see that you did not just write what you wrote for writing sake like other people. You have actually done the work. Now I'm going to talk about the hidden job market. A lot of people reach out to me and be like, they don't see, people they don't see job opportunities and all of that. And me, I'm somebody that, I don't know if it's the way I've trained my entire mindset, opportunities are always flying around me, right? And I'm going to tell you certain strategies or certain ways that you can actually get to access roles even without it being posted. Now I want you to know, number one rule is that 70% of roles are never posted publicly. People are not going to, gone are the days where they used to paste it in wall, hiring here. Nobody does that. Have you ever gone to a bank? How many companies? How many? Except maybe it's restaurant that are looking for cleaners, or a supermarket. Nobody puts hiring here anymore. They don't even post them publicly. And a lot of times it doesn't even go on company websites or anything. So I want you to know that you need to prioritize networking with professionals, and which is something that a gap that LinkedIn can help you bridge, a gap that attending industry events can help you bring. That's where you are exposing yourself to a network of people that can share with you unadvertised job openings. Now let me tell you how I got my first project management job. And here is what happened. I had worked with a project manager. I was just starting out. I just graduated. I was not sure what I wanted to do. So I worked with a project manager for a particular project and event. Actually, it was a personal development event. I don't know if you're familiar with LinkedIn local event. And in that particular event, what I did in that event was front desk. I was not even a assistant event coordinator. I was just in the front desk, helping people to register. But after front desk, I took the initiative. I was doing other things, ensuring that the events flow. I worked well, and it just something that came natural to me, right? At the time, I don't like to sit one place. I like to ensure that everything is going on well. I'm a very top tier organizer when it comes to things like that. At the time, I did not know that project management was even a team. And she reached out to me after the event and said she recommends that I take a project management course, and I did the course. let's be taken. At that time, anything that people say, let's shall do. I did project management, I did content writing, I did virtual assistant course, so that for the records, right? Because I was very unclear about what I wanted to do for myself at the time. But you know that, so this particular lady reached out, called me one random hot afternoon, and at the time I was very less. I won't say, I don't want to use the word depressed, but I was really going through a lot with getting a job or even figuring out what I wanted to do for my life. And she called me and she said, "There's a particular job opening that is coming out. Your job opening is not out yet. It's going to come open tomorrow. But I want you to apply for the job now." She sent me the link. I applied for the job and I got the job. The job opening went out though. It went out on the media. But I had, let's say, I already had upper hand. I had pre-information and I had somebody on the HR team like rooting for me. That was how I got that job with ease, right? With so much ease. That is to show that this is say your network is your net worth, and it's not a joke. I know a couple of people that have never applied, that have in the past 5 years, they will tell you that I've not applied for a job for myself, and they've been changing jobs like water. And when I'm talking job, I'm not talking of small paying job. I'm talking of top tier jobs and projects. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. That is because they've been able to leverage networks. Where will you see this network? They are on LinkedIn, they are in industry events, they are fellow people doing amazing things like yourself. Go out there, network, prioritize networking, right? You don't even know, and also prioritize people. You don't necessarily have to be big people that you prioritize. You don't know if your fellow core member here has the expertise that you has the network that you're looking for. Look at someone that say he has been on LinkedIn for 12 years now. That person might have the amount of expertise that you are also looking for. Also, try looking doing proper search. We call it billing demos. Try searching for things like that time I was looking applying for jobs. I was always searching for jobs using the filter because so any job I will skip, right? I am so sorry, my network is tripping. Can you all hear me? It's network. Oh. I don't know why the Wi-Fi is cutting off. Sincere apologies. Uncover buried career pages and regional job posting. Now, for example, I work in the NGO development space, and I remember when I was applying for a job, I wanted to transition from the edtech space into the NGO space. I started doing research, and at some point, Google recommended a particular site for me to see, and that in that site, all they post is NGO job opportunities. NGO job opportunities in the 36 states of the country, including Abuja, that's 37. So you could also filter job opportunities. What I did, I went to that particular site, I clicked on turn on notification. So once fresh job update just come like this, I've seen it. That was how I was able to uncover buried career treasures that people do that is not generally like put out in public. Also, reach out to alumni, your fellow alumni that are currently working, right? Reach out to, if you go for an event, network with people, right? It is better than you it helps you stack the odds in your favor than you pushing out a random application amongst thousands of people, right? As well. Please, next slide. Okay. And also another method that you can also uncover job opportunities that move your CV from being a document in your own archive to getting you hired is strategic cold outreach. It's called, I like to call it cold emailing or cold reaching out to people, right? And there is a golden template for it. Now, so we live in a world, before I go on, we live in a world where people, those particular people that are reaching out to give them cold outreach, a lot of people are also reaching out to them. Thousands of young people like you are saying that their DMs are flooded. But now you need to think about how to reach out to them in a way that makes you outstanding, right? In a way that makes you different from the masses. Please and please stop sending yes sir ama. I need a job. Why would they give you a job? They don't even know you from Adam. So try as much as possible to use this particular template on your screen. I want to be sure that everybody is seeing this particular slide. Can you all see this slide? See, yes sir, help my life. If you send me that message, I'll be like, "Ah, how? People can see this slide. So, Mr. Bukumi, is there a way that this slide can be shared with them after this class? Some people can, some people cannot.
And the recording will be shared.
Okay,
Thank
the
you.
recording. Yes. So when the recording is shared, definitely you will see the slide. Thank you so much. Also, use a very short when you're reaching out to people, don't write story of your life. Don't don't write a very long message because we live in a world where people have short expressions, but these people are busy, by the way. Put all these things into criteria. Go straight to the point. Who you are, um, plus a one-line credential of yourself. Tell them why they need you on their project. Tell them why they need you in their company. Then, in that why, reference a previous or recent projects that you've done, right? And tell them how you can replicate or do better in the work that they do, right? Please speak specifically to value. People are attracted to value. People are attracted to, and have a clear ask. Don't go and write a very long autobiography and you read it. There's one you read finish and you'll be wondering, okay, so what do I do with this particular information? So now, if I was reaching out to somebody on LinkedIn, I would say something like, hello, let's assume it's Mr. Ade. Hello, Mr. Ade. I'm a recent graduate of economics, right? I'm currently serving in Lagos with an experience in financial analysis during my NYSC. I recently saw an expansion in maybe what do banks do? Maybe SME lending and all of that at your bank, Access Bank. Let's use Access Bank as example. And I think I find it impressive. I would appreciate a 15 minutes call to learn about what skills that your organization prioritize when hiring an analyst like myself. You're very straight to the point. This one specific. This person knows that you know what you do. It even shows that you did research on their company or you are interested, and that research shows that you're interested in what they are doing, not just on a surface level, but in-depth level. For you to be able to say that, see that they just did a recent expansion that enabled them to start doing SME lending in their particular bank. I don't know if you understand my point. So it helps you pitch yourself within a very short time, that within a glance, this person can tell that you are value demystified, right? So please and please try as much as possible to, I know that many people try to flatter people, right? But one thing I know is that being specific will always beat flattery, particularly when it comes to professionals that really want the best hands on their team. So as I'm talking now, don't worry, we can always rush this recording. Try as much as possible to draft out a strategic cold outreach that you can use to start reaching out to people or professionals that you admire the work that they do or you love to join their team. Please, the next slide. Next slide. I would appreciate if you can help me with my thank you. All right. I would like to, our time is very fast spent. I would just quickly talk about interviews. I'll quickly talk about interviews very quickly. So when it comes to this particularly not the slide anyway, when it comes to attending interviews, you've got it, you've submitted your CV, you've used code outreach. Please help me unmute your mic. I beg in the name of God. It's disrupting my train of thought. Abuka, are you on this call? I think I'll just do that for you. Thank you so much. So, for example, you now get to the phase of interview. Me, I've always told myself that I've always believed that once I get, because I can talk, I know how to talk, I can sit down for hours and pitch myself. Once I get to that interview phase, I have scaled through here, right? Except I'm not interested again. So first is first is getting I want you to know that getting into the interview phase, when you get an email or a call for an interview, is that they find you valuable enough to want to listen to to want to listen more to what you have to say, right? So I would like to call it that you have gotten to halfway of the battle or the job winning battle, right? And I believe, and one thing about getting halfway means that you are halfway away from where you used to be, and you're also halfway into the other part of the room, which is the point where you win, right? Now, always, please, next slide. Always answer your interview questions using, yes, thank you, using the STAR approach. Please, STAR approach, STAR, is an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. This is a structure that will never fail. And if possible, I can add one L, star L. So for example, you tell the situation, you tell the task that you did, you tell the action you took, and then you tell the results that that particular action you took did to the situation. You can also end it with L, which is the lessons that you learned as well, but it depends on the question being shared. So for example, let me use an NYC experience now. Say for example, I will still use teaching because I feel like it's one of the most common NYSC roles or PPA that exist. So first of all, situation, the school performance was low in the school. You enter the school and you notice that their performance was low, and the task you were given is to, as a teacher, right, or as a core member, is to improve the student engagement, right? So what did you do? What action did you take? You now introduce weekly quiz competition in the school. They don't do quiz competition before, they'll just come and learn and go. Then you introduce weekly quiz competition. And then after you've told us this, what result did you to? You now say that for example, when they start having weekly quiz competition, which is an extracurricular activities, attendance in the school increased by 20%. Right? Students started coming to school very well. Now I'll tell you a very interesting story. When I was in primary school, is it primary school? Yeah, there was a particular teacher that came into the school. Yes, core member that came into the school and introduced what they called music class. So we always have music class on Fridays, which was not there before. The moment she introduced music class, even if you're not interested in music, you just wanted to use that time to escape lectures. So people started coming to class on Fridays more than any other, coming to school on Fridays more than any other days. Students that on a normal day don't come will cry to want to come to school on Friday because they don't want to miss music class, which is a time where they have fun. These are, if you are able to explain the value that you've done, no matter how little, it would help. And one basic way that I had earlier mentioned is through what the STAR approach. Choose a particular experience, map out the situation, tell the action you did, and the result what that is led to. Now, after this call, because of time, I want you to go back, write out one particular NYSC experience that you've done, right? And I mean in your PP or wherever, and arrange it through the STAR approach, and you would be able to see how best to answer questions from that perspective. Always, when answering questions, don't answer questions randomly. Always quantify your responses. Quantify. People just, they want to hear figures, they want to hear numbers, they want to see results. Always and always quantify your responses. So I'm going to ask somebody randomly. Let me see who has been engaging with me very well. Okay, Peter. Peter, I don't know if you can tell me where you currently serve, and what was the result of the last responsibility that you did in your PPA? Very quickly. Anybody can do that. Anybody actually. Where you currently serve. I want to see the difference between those that are tracking it Adidas. Okay, what do you do for Adidas? What was the last responsibility and what result did it yield? So this is, imagine this is an interview, right? Right, salesman. Okay. What result did you, what sales did you make? Give me a response. Imagine it's an interview. Okay, I'll just go ahead while I wait. I wrote a story for the institute. What results did your story lead to? This is a responsibility and it's very valuable. I want to see results. Did the story get the highest likes on the social media page? Or did it even get impressions? It doesn't have to be likes. What results did you get a positive feedback from a client for that particular story? All of this you should be able to translate it through the STAR method. Also, try to as possible to prep for interviews. Reach out to people, tell your friends to ask you questions, and very interestingly, I recommend um jumping on interviews, even if you don't necessarily need a job now. Jump on interviews. Maybe your listener has not ended. Jump on interviews so you are acquainted with the process. So it helps you reduce the whole anxiousness, the whole anxiety that comes with it, and it helps you position yourself strategically better. Right? The more you do something, the more the more it becomes second to nature, right? Somebody's response just hits me very well. Hey, Precious is somebody. If stated that he organized, I asked the same question, and they learned new things about their body and ways to take care of themselves. At the end of the class, they were able to answer any questions thrown at them properly. This is she was trying to properly answer this through the STAR method. I think the only thing that she did not talk about is the situation. So, for example, did you notice a gap in conversation around sexual hygiene or in the hygiene of the students and all of that? So it ties your the result that you are doing to a particular um problem that you're trying to bring a solution to, right? Next slide. Let's rush quickly. Start interviews very quickly before I move. Try as much as possible to not just do an interview and leave it to God. But it for long. No, most candidates do this thing, and I don't know. I used to feel like it's very evident that people should know, but I realize that many people don't know. Most candidates will just disappear after interviews and be expecting feedback. See, let me tell you, try as much as possible to, within 4 hours or before the end of that day, send a thank you email to the interviewers after that particular interview. Now, you might say, why was there need? It's necessary because it helps show that you are a particular participant that takes initiative, right? And beyond that, they might have interviewed 30 people in a day, right? And the moment, say 4 hours later, 5 hours later, 6 hours later, you are sending a thank you email, it brings your name to their forefront when thinking, right? Or when making this decisions, right? So when you are sending that email, ensure that that email is sent within that particular day. Reiterate the value that you hope to deliver to them, and clearly show your enthusiasm that you are very interested in hearing next steps with them. This will make them say something like, these are basic tiny professionalism tips that people know, and professionalism in this day-to-day world that people are very lackadaisical is rare, and I want you to be rare. The goal of moving from CV to IAD is that you want to be rare enough. Oh my god, my laptop's about to go. You want to be rare enough for recruiters to actually find you. I'm going to I've come to the end of my session actually. Okay, let me quickly touch on basic questions that are hard to ask, but you should ask, or you should be able to answer. And these are questions around salaries. Please and please, when they ask you what is your salary, what salary expectations, I always believe that you should not say a particular figure so that you don't shoot yourself in the leg. Give yourself a range, right? Give yourself a range. And before you go to an interview, research on how much they are paying so and so people in that particular entry. How much the industry pays that particular role or that particular level of people in that particular industry. So for example, it's an entry level project management role, you should know the amount that fellow project managers are earning in that particular industry, so that it helps you position yourself strongly when negotiating for salaries. Ensure that it is research back and not demand back. Don't show that you need the money even though you need the money. Don't let it be like, pay me this thing because my skincare has finished, or I don't have money to feed. Let it show, let it be research back. So if you could say something like, looking at it from the value that I'm going to, or I'm willing to offer the team, and the nuances around the particular role and expectations from me, I'm targeting a range of say 150 to 250,000 naira, right? That way it shows that you know what you are doing. You first ensure you highlight the value you are giving to them and the money that you're doing, and don't give yourself a particular figure, give a range, because some HR, that figure that you have, once is below, like maybe you want the salary was for like 500k and you said 300k, they will not argue, they will give you some, right? So give yourself a range like from 300 to 500, so that if bad as bad, it will not come to down, right? It's better it's two up and they tell you to can't we negotiate it further, than you shoot yourself in the leg. Also, ask smart questions. Do not leave an interview room without asking them questions. They called you to listen to what you have to say. Also, interview them. Interview them. It shows that you know what you are doing and you are prepared for them. You can ask questions, very familiar questions like, what's the top priority for this role in the first 60 days? That kind of question showcases to them that you are somebody that is interested in jumping head straight. If they employ you like this, you're jumping head straight into work. You're interested in going straight into work. It shows this particular person is going to be very effective, right? Do not leave an interview. Research questions that you can ask relating to that interview, and ask questions always. And I'm going to end with the fact that I want you to know that you are not, or people are not unemployed because there are no jobs. People are unemployed because they're applying casually in a very competitive world that we are. Also, in everything, do not underestimate the power of consistency as this stage. Remember, I said I applied 25 times before I got the job that took me out of where I was staying to Lagos. Apply the right strategy to your consistency, and I believe that it will actually yield results for you. And remember that your CV is not just a document. See your CV as a marketing tool. Use it to sell yourself, and you as a person is the product. Your CV is the marketing tool, right? And I just want you to imagine something. 1 year from now, very soon, a couple of yourself will be leaving NYSC. 1 year from now, you're working, you're earning, you're earning the kind of you're working in the kind of environment that you want, you're earning the kind of salary that you want, you're contributing to projects that you actually like, and ask yourself what did that version of you do differently? And if you're able to get that answer, apply it to everything that we've said today. That version of you, I want you to know that version of you is not somebody that will only, that version of you that will position his or herself strategically, right? And I just want you to know that after everything that I've said, right, it is very important that you do not just be the hearer but also be the doer. Try not to, before you sleep tonight, apply it. Apply the things that I have shared with you. The recording will also be shared, so if you missed any part, you can always listen to it. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Happiness Emodi, and I'm very excited, or I'm very excited to have this conversation with you all, and I can't wait to see you all at the hired phase. Right. Thank you.
Huge, 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 huge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that amazing delivery. Thank you. I mean, what do you say? So many of us, just use your favorite emoji, just to share how excited you are to actually hear, about how to get a job, right? So thank you so much for the thoughts and the amazing feedbacks that you have, share with us today. Because of time, right? We've pressed on time. So in the next 3 minutes, I'll just try to see if we can wrap up and we can go to go. Please, the conversation continues. Like I will promise, we're going to share the links for everybody who filled the attendance. Please, there's a WhatsApp group that is attached to that for join the WhatsApp group, especially in terms of networking, right? It's one of the high points of really getting a job. Like you mentioned, 70% of jobs today, like jobs that are open today, 70 of them are not online, right? It's not even in newspaper. It's not even published. But people in the organization knows that, oh, they need someone to actually be in this position to work with them. So there is always job in every organization, right? There's always inadequacy. Every businesses have inadequacy, and that is a core for a talent to actually explore that area. But it's only within, and that's why one of the platform in the gap has always get has always been on and always make it vibrant is what we call generation leaders. Generation leaders is they are a group of talents who have gone ahead to go into the industry. So some of them are in different aspects of industries. Some of them are already manager, CEOs or businesses out there, and is a collection of that everybody will go through the Good2Go, will enter into that network and to be able to tap into all the resources needed. That place, they share opportunities to fellow core members, and that is where some of us a lot of people have been blessed in that space, because rather than spending 6 months to be looking for where to work, you can easily see opportunity and imagine someone who has gone through the same CDS as you have gone through, and the person can easily share with you those opportunity. Perhaps the person is even working there and they happens to interview you. So you already have this relationship beforehand, and that's one of the most important things that we need to really tap into. So please join the WhatsApp group. The platform is there for us. So if you don't have the attendance and the feedback form, it's one form that speaks to those two. If you don't have it, please make sure you have it. Click on it, fill the form. We have about 95 to 100 of us who joined the call at one point or the other. But right now, the number is very low in terms of the attendance. Please fill the attendance and let's connect with you. Join the WhatsApp group. We're going to have a 30 days intensive engagement with you. It's a mentoring thing. Things that has to do to your CV. We want to work with you to make sure your CV is 8 years valid. We want to work with you about your LinkedIn profile. We want to really work with you. And there's some self-awareness, development that we want to engage you. Some of you in terms of experiences or in terms of skills that you need to be able to get desired job that you want, you can get connected to developers. You can be connected to mentors who will engage with you on any aspect of field you want to venture into to really get a job. So I want you to make sure you don't miss that opportunity. Join that group platform. Everybody who join all our WhatsApp groups are already getting prepared to be part of the generation leaders. Okay, please, let's make sure we fill the attendance. And let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay, so I think the last thing for me is conversion does not stop here. Conversions goes on WhatsApp, right? The convention goes on also on media. Please, one of the major thing that we also need to do is this. Please, you still have about few weeks to wrap up your service here. Make your service here a story word, a story worth telling. Let me say it again. Let your story of your service here start pushing that into your profile. It's one of the activities we really want to work with you on. Um, right from camp, write a story about how exactly you are, what you learn there, and then into your PPA, write about it, and some other skills, other network, other events, that other experiences that you had while you served. Put it up on your LinkedIn. Okay. Why were we saying that is this? Nobody will blow your trumpet for you. It is you that is going to blow your own trumpet. When people see your CV, they search your name online, and when they see you on your LinkedIn, they want to know that what you wrote inside your CV is the same thing as what they are seeing there. Okay? And you already give yourself an edge when you can tell your own story. Please, let's do that. There are other activities which has to do with, there's one that we're also going to engage you on WhatsApp. All these are what we're going to do in 30 days. There's one another one that which has to do with looking for organizations, large enterprise, medium enterprise, and small enterprises that you can work, that you know that you can work in. Then you, in your quest of knowing them and searching for them, you also go deeper into the position you like to work, and even who is in that place that's working in that position. What is the profile of that person? So all those things we're going to be giving you hands-on meeting engagement to actually actualize your desired goal. So please share it with us, your CV. One of the things we want to do with, with the form is when we receive your CV, we want to work with your CV right from the form. Want to work with your LinkedIn right from the form. Please provide those two things and let's work with you. And make sure, please, it's optional. You can either fill it or you don't fill it. Okay. But I will encourage you to do that if you really want to get a job. Some of us might get a job before we are done with NYC. In fact, that is our desire. All of you, because back in those days, job wait for graduate. Well, graduate don't wait for job. I say it again, job wait for graduate. And it's still happening now. Okay. Now, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Happiness. Thank you. Um, yeah, so I will just see questions. Okay. Oseni and then Isaac. Two of you, please. Oseni 1 minute. Isaac 1 minute. And then we'll wrap up for today. Let me give you permission to speak. Yeah, Ozeni, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, sir, and good evening to everyone, and to the speakers. Everyone really appreciates. It's a very insightful section tonight. And just what I want to talk about is that the link to the attendance, we have been trying it and it's not going through, so we're unable to fill some of our details for now. So please, can you just help us address it, sir?
Okay, so as I'm sending it I'm sending right now, it's not going.
Yeah, we can. Once we click on the link, it's not opening.
Once you click on the link, it's not opening. Okay, this one has opened though. I try it with another account, it's opening.
Oh. Maybe I would press it on another browser then. So,
Yeah, 30 of us has already filled the form. 30.
thank you.
30 of us, 50% of us, most 50 of so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Isaac, let's hear from you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, good.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I want to thank the I want to thank you on behalf because I really enjoy this session today, and I would still love to even listen to it because this one was even more powerful than the one we listened to yesterday. So I don't know, is there any way we can be able to download this particular message?
Okay, so the session is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So the link will be
Okay.
shared with everyone.
Okay.
Probably those who fill the attendance are going to be the ones to receive it. Those who join the WhatsApp are going to be the ones to first receive it. Right?
Yes.
A lot of us registered, but few actually attend. So we are going to be focused on those who attend. And not only those who attend, those who fill the attendance form.
Yes, I've been able to fill the attendance and even join the WhatsApp group.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you. Okay. Last one. All right. Peter.
Good evening,
Good evening.
everybody. Thank you for this section. To our instructor, I don't know if she's still here because I have a question that me I would like to ask her, so I
Yeah,
can
she's
get
still
like a proper. I would like to get like a proper understanding. And I've not been able to join the WhatsApp group. Please, if anyone can add me, this is something I would like to be part of. So yeah, this is my question. We know we are in a country whereby what you do in school does not correspond to like what you end up doing, like job you end up getting like in the long run. In the sense that what you study for school, no BT go use job, that kind of thing. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. So now you having a CV comprises of your experience, your work experience over the years. But the work experience, because everybody in Lagos, let me use Lagos for example now, where I'm from. Everybody in Lagos, we are all hustling. For myself, I'm a hustler. Imagine the job experience I've gathered over the years, just so like to pursue a degree at the end of the day, still go back to that system of hustling. And turns out that the career path, I mean the main job that you're aiming for, does not even it's not in line with your experience, and you want to apply for that kind of job with that kind of CV. Is it that now I have to like start structuring my CV? Now, I'm not saying lie you because I mentioned something earlier that people lie in their CV and the rest. Now you now have to like bend your CV to just fit that line of job, and at the end of the day, you face an interview. Your CV is telling your employee that, oh, you have experience in this, in this, in this, and just because you want to get that job. But whereas it doesn't even correspond to like what you do in school. In that kind of situation, if you find yourself there, what can one do? What can somebody do to like figure out, find a way out, you know? Yeah, that's my question. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay. Hi, Peter. I don't know if it was my network or a lot of the things you said were like your line was breaking. But let me ask you guys my network. But I think I get your question anyway. And the thing is, I think that your concerns are valid. Um how do I put this now? And I've been in that phase too, where the only thing I had was probably doing helping my mom sell at her shop. I did POS at some point for one man like that, and all of that. So all of these things, I believe that um there is a way to structure it in a way that they might be scattered, right? There's a way to structure it artificially. I don't know, there's a background noise that is disrupting my thoughts. There's a way to structure it properly in a way that those skills are still transferable in to what you do currently. I do not believe that as much as the need is for hustling, and I get it, but I still do not believe that life happens to us scatteredly. I've always believed that those scattered dots, the one you're hustling here, you're hustling there, you're hustling there, there are certain skills that you learned that you will still be able to take into the actual job that you are looking for. Why don't you take those skills and highlight them properly in your CV? So, for example, um, when I was doing sales for my mom, right? I would I was doing sales. I was able to learn customer service, right? Because I was reaching out, I was responding to customers day in day out. In fact, people loved when I was in the shop, right? It was not a big company, but it taught me what no course in customer service management would teach me. Seriously, it taught me no course in customer service management would teach me. So as much as those your hustle jobs, like you call it in quotes, are scattered, I still feel like there are certain ways that you can restructure it, not restructure, but structure it into something that would translate to the actual job that you need. There are certain skills that are transferable no matter the industry that it was, right? And you don't have to lie. There's no point. But what you can do is articulate. Remember, articulate your value properly. There's value in everything that you have done, and I want you to see it in that perspective. Just find how to align it into the current work that you did. For example, you were a media professional, you worked in a radio, right? You can say that when working in a radio, you were able to hone certain public speaking skills that you can translate into this new job, or even if it's writing skills or something, or even if it's sound management skills or something that can still translate into a tech skill in the future. So I think that there are ways that you can articulate your value, no matter how meagerly the role is. I did a CV for someone recently. I don't usually do CVs, but this person was on my neck. I don't do CVs for people, but this person was on my neck, and I did it for her. And when I was talking to her, okay, what have you done? She said she has not done anything. The only thing she has done is um just helping her auntie to sell and all of that. And her auntie has a very big fashion shop. I was able to translate all of those things. She didn't do anything in school. She didn't do anything at all. So opportunities for people like me now, I did a lot in school that helped me build my CV to a reasonable extent. But I mean, I was able to translate that CV properly. Even those meagerly experiences that she felt was naughty, I told her, tell me anything that you remember that you've done, and I was able to translate it properly in a way that got her two interviews. She even has an interview today. I'm supposed to reach out to her. And beyond just that, I ensured that after creating her CV, I ensured that she, within the time frame of her looking for a job, she was taking courses, trying to look for qualifications that can help her upgrade her CV from that particular CV to the kind of CV that properly aligns with the job that she's looking for. So I do not think that you should fold your hands. This is a phase where you are looking for opportunities, looking for skills, looking for courses, looking for programs that you can participate in that can help you build proper structure to your CV in ways that align with the career path that you're interested in. I don't know if this makes sense.
Thank you so much, bro. I'm still looking forward to like getting to like speak to you more, but I just want to say thank you once again. Thank you.
I will try to, let me see if I can drop my LinkedIn profile on this page.
Yeah,
Or I don't know, there's a group chat, Abby. You can just share it with them. I'm open to anybody reaching
okay.
out to me and answering questions. Thank you.
Right. Okay, someone asked, just check the chats. James is
Mhm.
asking a question.
Someone asked, I have a question. When I'm in your CV, is this proper to please don't even put any reference except requested. Don't bother. Don't put reference except requested. You can just put available upon request, or don't put at all. But don't put any reference, right? Because setting, so it's better you put available upon request. So when they maybe you get to the phase where they've selected you for the job and they're asking you for references, they will not specify if they want an academic reference, if they want references from your previous jobs, if they want references from maybe professional religious leaders and all of that. So it's safer not to put, just put available upon request. I personally don't put the tab references at all. If you request for it, you request for it. But if you're going to put reference, please don't put reference. Don't put anybody's name. Because the person can see your pastor now. You don't like your pastor because of one video your pastor posted on Instagram, and they will now disqualify you. So let them request for it. Thank you. I have questions. Yeah, I think what about when requested for? Yes, when requested for, they will specify. But if they don't, please put, I would recommend that you use people that are professionally aligned with you, really, not necessarily your pastor. You can use your pastor for like guarantor and all of that, But for reference, these are people that can speak to the quality of your work. And if your pastor can, it's fine, right? But definitely, usually, the way I've seen it, they've always asked for, okay, this particular, it could be an old colleague, an old boss, and all of that. People that can speak to the quality of the work that you say you can do. Yeah. I don't know. Did that answer your question, James? All right. Thank you. I think that would be all. So this is my LinkedIn profile. Please feel free to reach out to me. I will try. Just reach out to me and introduce like you're from Mandiga for this particular webinar, and I will try to respond accordingly, particularly this weekend because I'm free. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So
So
the last,
do enjoy the rest of your day. I'm leaving now. Bye.
all right. Yeah. Bye. The last announcement is tomorrow we're going to share. We have someone actually, one of our gen leaders, who is going to come to share with us how to further our study, the need for us to see opportunity around us now to prepare. Some of us wants to, either you want to do local or international um, study. It's an opportunity for us to learn, ask questions. What is the way out? What are the requirements? How do I tap into opportunities to study outside the country? Those things, and where are those platforms that we can really tap into. We're going to be sharing that tomorrow by 8 p.m. Okay. Sorry, the time change because of our guest speakers trying to look at the schedule and see which one would be, will be able to attend without having glitch. So that's why time change, but the day still remains. We just change the time. 8 p.m. tomorrow. Our guest speaker will be available and will be attending to all our questions. We share some insights, experiences, right? And I believe all of us are going to enjoy it. If not for you, please, one of those things, share it for others. Learn it and let other people know about it. And like I mentioned yesterday, the program is not only for the CDS that we anchor alone across the states, it's also called down to every NYC members in your local government, in your states. We are all living NYC at the same time. You are in the same batch, Stream 1 and Stream 2, 2025A. Please invite others to attend. The links for tomorrow has already been given to us in our schedule, in our what do you call it, in our calendar. It's still the same link by 8 p.m. Please let's use to invite others or get them to attend register, and from that registration they get invites tomorrow, 8 p.m. tomorrow, and we can all come together, learn and grow. The WhatsApp group for tomorrow will also be ready for those who want to further their study. I'm going to be sharing a lot of opportunities, a lot of preparations for you, all the requirements that you need. We are going to make them available for you. Please make sure you join. All this mentorship is going to last for 30 days. From after the 30 days, we now want to see feedback from you to get results. Want to know how far you've gone. I would have loved to share with you some follow that instructions that we share, that the person got a job, all right, as this, I'm talking about 2017, as far as 2017. So I'm just telling you it's possible. All right, so please, I say I want a job for 50K, okay, 500K plus, because I won't marry this year. This could pass my power. Okay. All right, so let's join the WhatsApp group and let's discuss. We can have meetings and we can all deliberate on that. Let's take it to the WhatsApp group. Oseni, please, your questions, drop it at the WhatsApp group, and then we can continue the conversation from there. I hope we all have access to the link
We don't
Someone say
have
I
time to waste yet.
okay, same I have to act again. Because I want everybody to be there and to
So,
be able to participate in it.
so how can we now get to the group since we can't fill the form?
And so that's my worry now. I need you to be able to let me ask, is the link clickable?
It's not. It's clickable, but once it gets to Chrome, it won't open.
It won't open.
Yes.
All right, let me stop recording and then um,
This one. That one.